Cole Palmer scores 4. Chelsea win 6-0 in not just the best night at Stamford Bridge this season, probably the best night in the Premier League, home or away, for a couple of years for Chelsea, who have suffered so miserably as a fan base for a long time. But tonight, so much clicked together, defensively strong for large parts of the game. The attack was absolutely poetic. The ball moved like liquid gold, and Chelsea were deadly, clinical, potent, and scary up front. And of course, Cole Palmer, aka Cold Palmer, stepped up tonight, joining a very small group of players to score 4 goals in one game. As you can see on the screen, I'm just going to click on it now. He also goes joint top goal scorer in the Premier League, behind Erling Haaland as well. I know he played sort of 30, 40 odd games for Manchester City, but in his real breakthrough season, to have that amount of goals in his first campaign, by the way, in a team that hasn't been overly functional, can you imagine how many more he could have scored if Chelsea had played like tonight more regularly this season? Him in that number 10 role, supporting Nicholas Jackson, it was an absolute thing of beauty. You've got to mention Nicholas Jackson as well. Absolutely impeccable goal. How he controlled that out of the air, swivel, bang, bottom corner. And his overarching performance, I thought, was pretty good as well. And young Alfie Gilchrist scoring his first goal for Chelsea, putting that cherry on top of the icing, on top of the cake. And tonight was a kind of performance that we saw earlier on in the season, with the goals added on top. A team in a really good shape, in and out of possession. There's a few early scares. Beto, I think his name is, should have scored after 4 or 5 minutes. Should have scored. The flag went up, but it wasn't offside. That could have changed the course of this game. But Chelsea settled. They didn't allow themselves to become nervous or worried, concerned. They stuck to their game plan. And it was one of the best structured performances I've seen from this Chelsea team, in and out of possession. They knew what they were doing. Players were close together. When they pressed as a unit. When they defended, they got back in shape. Where has this Chelsea team been? Forget the goals. Just where has that performance been, that togetherness been for large parts of this season? The goals, though, as I say, 14 shots in the game, which isn't astronomically high. 10 of which were on target. 6 went in just as they're building up this week. To a massive semi-final in the FA Cup with Manchester City. And you know what? When I look at this, I think to myself, they've already had 2 good results, as in draws against City. With the goals that are running through them right now, Cole Palmer, I think there's an argument to say that he's potentially the most informed player in the Premier League right now. Maybe not the best all season, but definitely the most informed player. They have a chance against City. They really do. 2 draws already this campaign. They've scored goals against City. If they can defend and attack and stay together as a unit as well as they did tonight, they could find themselves winning that game and at Wembley. And of course, look, as a United fan, they're 3 points behind us with the game in hand. They go up against Arsenal next in the Premier League, I believe. That's what the Premier League website's telling me. Listen, I'm worried about them overtaking us. You know, it's a very small win, but I don't want to be bottom of the top 6 teams in the Premier League this year. But Chelsea, if they continue to score like this, continue to play like this, they're going to be very hard to stop indeed. The beautiful game here, says Terry. Terry, that front 4 has never played together until now. That's the key. I know Madueke has had his problems with injuries, but this is where the manager, and he's chopping and changing. One of the reasons that people like myself have really criticised Poch this year, because he hasn't. You look at that 3 together, that 4 together. Sorry, you've got good footballing, very good footballing ability, goals that can be scored in that, pace in that team, and they really just cause problems. But I also thought Gallagher and Caiciedo, as a double pivot together with Palmer ahead of them, worked very well tonight. And where you really have to praise Chelsea, And some people are going to say 9th and they're going to put in dead banter, I know. But Everton have got one of the best defenses in the league, which means their midfield is hard to dominate and penetrate through. You might be able to hold possession against them, but no one is cutting through the middle of them and creating chances. Their back line is resolute. To put 6 goals past them isn't just having a good night. It is absolutely ripping them to shreds. And a really important component was Caiciedo and Gallagher in that double pivot, just being the architects, just being the anchor, being so solid in that middle to ensure they're not susceptible to counterattacks and to ensure that the ball is being moved into the dangerous territories of the pitch for the likes of Madueke, for the likes of Cole Palmer to be dangerous. So from my point of view, from my point of view, the best Chelsea I've seen under Poch, probably the best Chelsea I've seen in 2 years. And Chelsea fans will be hoping for much more of the same. And look, that's why I've said before, if they can get the system down, add some more experience in the summer, you can turn around this problem at Chelsea quickly. Getting back to winning titles could be a few years away, but getting back to being a Champions League team, a dangerous team, a potent team, they're not that far away. They've got some real talent in this team. The manager has just got to get his system right. And a lot of people in the comments, I did put it in the group chat earlier, said there's no Enzo tonight. Look, correlation and causation. I could be shameless and say, see, Enzo's out and look how much better they are. That may have had something to do with it. Gallagher and Caiciedo were really good. Cole Palmer playing in his natural position. But it was all to do with the structure on and off the ball. If Enzo was in Gallagher's position tonight, I see the result being as good, as similar, in my personal opinion. If he stays out of the team now and they keep playing like this and every time he comes back in it gets worse, maybe then we can have a conversation. But I wouldn't jump to those conclusions straight away, although it is a little bit of fun banter. Shows how delusional and reactionary Terry is. What does? Praising this performance. Why would I not pray? We're talking about it individually. I'm not saying Chelsea are the most amazing team in the world. I'm simply stating that the way they were in and out of possession was the best I've seen them all season. Can they now start to do that more regularly is a question. That's not reactionary. That's looking at tonight. They've demonstrated they can do it. Can they make it more consistent? That's the question. This here, Terry, Chelsea are playing great without Sterling and Enzo, is what Raheem says here. We scored goals because Gallagher wasn't in the 10. Gallagher doesn't put those Palmer chances away. This is very true. This is very, very true indeed. How does this make Terry reactionary? That's just coming from a troll, my friend. I'm going to ignore him. We had very good balance in the team today. We had the legs in midfield, and the Enzo hate will probably now start. Well, yeah, some Chelsea fans will, because some Chelsea fans will be stupid at this point. Demand more from him, but correlation, causation is popping through my head. Would you be worried if a bunch of kids are squabbling over a penalty? It's very immature. I've seen grown men do it. I wouldn't worry too much. It's not a good look. It doesn't look good, but they all kissed, hugged, and made up after the goal. I've seen it happen before in football. The same as when every now and then it will leak into the media about 2 players fighting at training. It is so normal. It is so typical within the game of football. It is something to not worry about in any way, any shape, or in any form. Cole Palmer was right to take it. He's chasing the golden boot. Yes, it would have been nice to Madueke to get a goal. But did scoring penalty goals actually get your confidence of scoring goals and open play up? Probably not. Cole Palmer joined that very, 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 very exclusive club of 4 goals in a game. Joint top goal scorer with Haaland. They'll all be fine now. There'll be no issues. I wouldn't worry about it for a single second. Palmer better than Saka. This is why he is better. Look, I'm standing very resolute with what I've said about Bukayo Saka. This season, I think, yes, you're absolutely spot on. He's been better. It's going to take a number of seasons of consistently performing above the level of Saka for me to agree that he is better. Cole Palmer's going to go through not second season syndrome per se, but teams will be looking and studying more over the summer. What's he good at? What's he poor at? How can we stop him? I'm not going to put down a player of Bukayo Saka's quality, someone that's been my player of the year. And when I say my player of the year, I mean England's player of the year twice now. But Cole Palmer is special. Cole Palmer is a wonderful talent with an exceedingly high ceiling, who has the ability to score with both feet, with his head. He can create. He's got a decent turn of pace. He has wonderful skill. And you can say what you want, Nav. Feel free to. It's a terrace, no echo chambers. But for me, it's not about comparing him to others. It's about looking at him as Cole Palmer and how good he can be. Has to go to England. Go away with England to the Euros, 110%. Study Palmer. This is why Don criticizes Saka. Again, different players, different positions, and not everybody is designed to do the same thing. Doesn't mean they're ineffective. Cole Palmer tonight, by the way, scores more goals than he does. But Cole Palmer, for me, is more comparable to Odegaard in terms of he is the person that the play goes through. Now, he just happens to be a very good goal scorer. And if you see, again, some of you, forget the people that slag off penalties are idiots. Great penalty taker. I like how he gets these goals where he kind of runs from deep, sort of Lampard-esque. He's got a really good, decent, long-range effort from him as well. But he is a 10. He can play out wide, but he is a 10. And that is who he should be compared against, other 10s. You know, and as I say, is he technically better on the ball than Saka? I'd probably argue yes. But consistency of performances in your role is what I judge who the better football players are, in my opinion. That's just my way of doing it. But I'm just going to say this now. Cole Palmer is amazing. Do you think Cole Palmer will be on the plane to Germany? Has to be. Has to go to Germany. It would be an absolute travesty, a travesty beyond travesties, if he doesn't go to Germany for me. He's sensational. And I mean this, his name ain't being mentioned, but I would take him over James Maddison every day of the week. He can play more positions than James Maddison. He's outperformed him this season. Scores more goals, creates probably more. I haven't looked at the stats to back it up, but I feel like he creates more chances. But he's multifaceted. So I would say James Maddison, stay back. Cole Palmer, you're on your way, mate. Proud of the boys and kept a good defensive line. They certainly did tonight, Gav. And that's what really impressed me. It was the shape out of possession. Didn't happen too often. I'm going to guess that you had over 60% of the ball. You'd bang on 59.3%. That was without looking, just by watching the game. That shows your eye test works. We might start doing that soon to test people's eye tests. Ask them about stats like possession and pass completion and see if their eye test works. Should we do that? That'd be a fun game. But yeah, excellent today out off the ball. This is why Hassam saying our squad is 12th is jokes. You have to expand on that. Absolute shit from Madueke and Jackson. Bench them for that immature crying attitude. Penalty is for Palmer. Madueke is only thinking of himself. Look, I don't think we need to go that far. It is a coming together. These are competitive men in a highly charged situation. There is absolutely no need for this to be taken any further than what you saw tonight. That's it. Done. Gallagher in central midfield did two things. Gave Caiciedo only one side to cover and allowed more talented attackers to do their thing. Poch's system needs this. Well, it needs people in their best positions. And I think we've gone through this era of square pegs in round holes and managers almost trying to be too clever. And I'm not just blaming Poch for that. But he's found the formula that works tonight. I would love to see him play this exact starting lineup against Chelsea. Maybe if there's somebody else fitter to come in instead of Chalobah, maybe a little better than him, although I thought he was good tonight against City. Because you play like that against City, you've got a chance. You genuinely got a chance because you've nearly beaten them a couple of times this year, which is just pure facts. I'm not jinxing you. I'm just saying you've got a chance. I don't want to jinx you. I want you to win. And I mean this with all due respect. I want Chelsea in the final because if Man United are lucky enough to make it, we have a better chance of beating you than we do City, just with the way our games are. So I want you there for multiple reasons. One, it stops the treble. And two, it probably gives us a slightly better chance of winning it. So it's, yeah, I'm not trying to jinx it, I promise you. Invisible taxes, you seem very smart. Take your own advice. Oh, that must be the name of a user in Village. I didn't get the comment. It must be something. Terry is back in Chelsea to beat us on Sunday. No, I'm not backing them to beat you. I still have you as favourites. I have said that if they play like this, they have a chance. That's not the same as backing them to beat you at all. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing at all. My old mate. What did it say? City are 10 games away from back-to-back trebles. Yeah, let's just stop talking about it. Terry, Cole Palmer is better than Bukayo Saka because Palmer can play in a midfield in the number 10, can also play as a winger, number 7. Yeah, I mean, Saka can play on the left and the right. He can play as fullback and can do those things. As I said before, everyone views football differently. And I think if we're just talking technical ability, I'd sit there and go, yeah, you're right. But football is more than about technical ability. It's about consistency of output within your role and how do you deliver. I'll give you an example. Technically on the ball, both Cole Palmer and Saka are better than Gary Neville. But I'm not going to say either of them are better professional football players than Gary Neville, with the consistency that Neville demonstrated in his particular role for so many years at the elite end of the game. Just being better technically doesn't make you a better football player. Same as in boxing. You could be the best technical boxer in the world, but if you don't beat the best fighters, or you don't consistently win, how good you are technically becomes irrelevant. That's the difference between playing football in the park with your friends, playing computer games, and being a professional football player. So as great as Cole Palmer is, consistency will get him above those players, in my opinion. But like I've said, Neville carried. No, it does make him better. It makes him a better professional football player. It certainly does. It's like this. You're a City fan. Haaland is a better striker than Danny Welbeck, even though I think Danny Welbeck is technically better on the ball than him. That doesn't make Danny Welbeck better than Haaland as a striker. That's not how football works. Never has been, never will be, in my humble opinion. Terry, I believe that Jeremy Doku could be our Cole Palmer in 2 years' time. He just needs time. I have seen rivals laughing at him. I can't wait to see Savio and Doku partner up next season. Certainly could be. And if it's, 20 goals a season. Chelsea is again being investigated by financial fair play breaches. Send me a link. I'm not going to talk about it on this show, though. Terry, you're bullying Chelsea again. Chelsea hate is mad. Brother, is that what you said, Invisible Tax? That is the worst banter anybody's ever thrown my way. It's the worst banter ever. Because I'm praising them. Pleb. He tried it and he missed. Bro, do you want a pen? Give me your address. I'll send you a pen. You can write down some more insults and maybe you'll get it right next time. My word. Honestly. My son's nursery group that are 3 and 4 years old give me better banter than that. My God. The only player better than Cole Palmer this season is Phil Foden. Oh, listen, I think you could throw Declan Rice into that mix as an example. But he's up there. Rodri is a sound bet, but Cole Palmer has been absolutely astounding. He's been astounding. He really, really is. What puts the others slightly ahead for me is like we've been talking about, doing it now in title races and in big Champions League games. And if we just keep it to the Premier League, then just doing it in the title races is a next level of pressure. But Cole Palmer has been just beyond belief this year. Absolutely has been. Someone says Rice cooked. That's weird. Terry, if any players do it in like Liverpool or City team like this, trust me, they will be on the bench. The rule is done for penalty kick takers. We'll see. I've seen it happen at City before Pep, to be fair, and I haven't seen that happen. I don't think there should be any more punishment. What Chelsea don't want to do is make a mountain out of a molehill after a brilliant night. Why would you want to, make them do 200 push-ups each in training in the morning? Like, give them a little punishment behind closed doors like that. Make them wash the dishes. Make them do something. But don't do anything public. Don't do anything that gets out. Don't do anything to disharmonize yourselves. Fans don't push any narratives. And try and go along from there. And I know you're only joking. So am I, bro. It's just a bit of fun. We can relax. The best thing about Palmer is he is getting GA alongside performances unlike other players. He's great. Absolutely amazing. And do you guys, when you look at Cole Palmer, do you get what I'm now saying about Jack Grealish? Maybe do you all get what I mean? Where the play and the performance looks okay, but there's not much at the end of it. And when people talk about £100 million players, there has to be productivity at the end. I'd rather average on the ball and productivity than brilliant on the ball and no productivity. If you're brilliant on the ball and there's productivity, you're a star. Maybe people get it now. Listen, I'm going to bring out Matt. There's two Matts backstage. Man like Winter Surfer backstage as we'll have their say. Gentlemen, Matt.
Hello.
That was a turn up, not you, Matt. Aussie Matt. Sorry. That was a turn up. That was a turn up for the books. What a performance!
I mean, I think Chelsea fans got a deal. We just scored 6 goals. When the fuck have we ever scored 6 goals in the last years? But I can't imagine. Against the Premier League team, of course. And Everton conceded one of the least goals in the Prem as well, and we got 6 behind them. I mean, this is an impeccable game. I think every player did their part. Cole Palmer, obviously the best player at Chelsea, one of the best players in the Premier League, has to win one of the young players, the young player of the season for me. Absolutely insane of a player. Just the creativity he just gives for himself is insane to me. So I love watching him every time. That penalty thing I want to speak about as well. Jackson Madueke, it's not on this place, it's on the manager. The manager did so well today, I gotta clap my hands to him. Great setup. I think he put that lineup on and said, let's go, let's press this Everton team. And we did that. But to then come to this penalty and realize that we need to have a penalty taker, designated penalty taker. Why we don't have that is a bit concerning, because this is what happens when you've got kids in your team who fight over penalties. You're 5-0 up, everyone wants that goal, and they're going to fight over a penalty. This is when the manager needs to come in and set a designated penalty taker, and I think that's what he should be doing. It's a bit embarrassing because you look at rivals making fun of us. We're winning 5-6-0, and we're still getting laughed at. I just don't like to see that. But on that, Gallagher stepped in great, proper captain leadership of him. I disrespect him every week, but he came out and was like, yeah, I'm a leader, I'm a captain. He showed it how it's done, pushed him away, said, Palmer, you're taking it. So big ups to him as well. And he had a good game as well. I think him and Caiciedo linked up very well. But we've seen what this pivot can do. We've seen it multiple times. It doesn't work. As soon as Enzo comes back in, Enzo needs to be back in this team. But I do want to see Palmer more in that 10 position. I think he played great there. I think that press worked out multiple times for him because every goal he nearly got was from that dead centre middle. So I like seeing him there. So on to Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal is going to be a big game. Arsenal is dropping out of form. Maybe we're getting back into form. Who knows? But I see a big game now. I see a massive chance. But first, we've got to get through City. Terry, you were saying before, we've scored goals against City. We've drawn against City. So who knows? City might play their third team, hopefully. But for me, a big game's coming in, and I want to get points. So let's get consistent, mate. Let's get consistent first.
Absolutely, and I still think you look like Borat with that moustache, mate. I've got to say,
I love. That's why I have it here, but I love it. I get Daniel Ricciardo and I get Borat all the time. Everywhere I go, I get Daniel Ricciardo.
Daniel Ricciardo. What do I don't know that. Daniel Ricciardo.
He's an F1 driver.
F1 driver. He's actually my second
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah. That's probably better than Borat. He's a good-looking geezer, to be fair. He's a good-looking geezer. We'll come back to you in a minute, Matt. Arsenal fan Matt here. I know you said you want to say your piece on Cole Palmer.
Yeah, bro. Fantastic performance from Cole Palmer. I genuinely think he has to win Young Player of the Year. Yeah, you can throw Kobe Mainoo in there, but Cole Palmer's numbers is just unreal. You just got to look at his numbers and kind of be like, if he wasn't at Chelsea, what the hell would Chelsea be? He's genuinely saving Chelsea every game, and you've got to give it up to him. You've got to big him up.
I think they've already voted, right? The players one, they've already voted for him. I know the players. I think so.
Wait, is it already voted?
Yeah, I think they vote late March or just at the beginning of April.
I think he does. I do agree with you though, Matt. I think he does deserve young player of the year. I mean, if he keeps on at this rate, especially with his recent, this guy, he could win the golden. When was the last time someone of 21 years of age who wasn't an out-and-out number 9 was anywhere near winning a golden boot? I don't remember, Matt.
I was about to say Mark Lone, but then you said out-and-out number 9.
That's a trivia question. I don't know.
Yeah. That's massive. And what I want to see from Cole Palmer going forward is him doing this season after season. If he can do that, then we can have a conversation because he is special. He is special, and I'm so happy he is, English. I'm so happy he's part of this England squad. He should go to Germany. And I mean, I don't necessarily think he should start, but you know, like there is a conversation there. There's definitely a conversation for that number 10 because Jude Bellingham, like, yes, he's been doing okay at Real Madrid, but he's starting to, you know, dip slightly in his form. Foden, well, you know, like he's obviously, you know, he's doing class things at the moment, you know, Bernabeu screamers, you know, like all that stuff. But Cole Palmer's definitely in that conversation.
It's one of the Cole Palmer for England. I'm a bit like you. It's good and bad. He's
going to be on the bench.
It's amazing we've got these three talents, but it's annoying that they all play the same.
Yeah, in the same position.
It would be amazing if Foden was in his form, but he played on the left, and if Bellingham was playing his form and was a deeper midfield player, because you could fit all three. And what I don't want to see England do is what we did with Scholes, Lampard and Gerrard, where you move the most talented one out of position because he can handle it, and then you play them all in the same team and it doesn't work. No.
Don't think you can just put that in there, Terry. The most talented one.
I'm only repeating what Sven-Goran Eriksson has confirmed to us. He's told us why he did it.
Is that what he said? Yeah.
That's what he said. Yeah, I'm just repeating the man who made the decision. So that's what I'm saying. But yeah, he was brilliant today. And I know there's lots to talk about with tonight's performance, but Cole Palmer, Andrew, just out of this world.
Perfect hat-trick as well. Left foot, header, right foot as well before the penalty. Perfect hat-trick. I don't know what to say about this kid anymore. It was his first goal. It was actually a nutmeg that led to something which I liked as well. So they can actually use that in goals as well. He's just sensational. No one mentions his age. We don't mention his age. Rivals don't mention his age. He's just. And when I say this, please do not say he is even in the same breath of this player. But he's not. I've not seen a player like him since Hazard left. He's not Hazard. What anyone clips and says, I'm trying to say he's Hazard. But that type of player who's got something, who can literally turn a match, who can do something, who can shoot, who can head. He runs into the box like old school Frank Lampard does. He does it all the time. Runs into the box. He's got that. I mean, he's one
goal away. He's one goal away from matching Hazard's best ever season of goals for you. So I don't think he's as good a dribbler as Hazard, but there are the early signs that he could be more productive for you. And he's got great ability. He really could be.
And he's also, I think I read a stat today. I think he's matched Lampard's record of most goals in a season at Stamford Bridge tonight as well.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
So that
he beat Didier Drogba's record of seven consecutive games he scored at Stamford Bridge. Ridiculous.
But Terry, what I want the owners to actually see is that they need this summer. They need to get players to help this guy further forward. Yeah, they need to get a striker, a proper striker. They need to get more experienced players just to surround this guy, because next season is the one where I'm going to see what he can do, because I don't want this to be a flash in the pan season. I want this to continue. Get over 20 again. He's just extraordinary. And just on the penalty thing, and I don't want to blow that up very much, that needs to come from the manager. He needs to straight up just tell the players, no matter what, when Palmer's on the pitch, I don't care what the score is, unless Palmer gives you the ball to take the penalty, it's Palmer, and that's it. Because that was embarrassing. That part today, Terry. That was just madness. But
yeah, you know. I suppose you guys probably. I played it down. That's because it isn't my
team. Yeah, it's not a big thing.
Yeah. I suppose it's a bit like when somebody else's kids are being naughty, I laugh. When it's my kids, I get proper embarrassed. So I'm like,
Terry, it's not the first time they've done it as well. Like it's getting to the point now where it's like, come on, boys, man. Like, what are you really doing? You know what I mean? Just fix up, man. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not good.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Talk to me about Cole Palmer.
Hold on. Give me a 2 sets, bro. Let me just fix my light. Give me 2 sets.
All right, no worries. What are we doing? More surprising than the 6 goals was the clean sheet for us, and both centre backs played pretty regular under Tuchel. Coincidence is what's been said there.
Everton have the 4th best defence report tonight.
I know. Crazy, and that's why when people, they're a relegation team, they don't concede a lot. Their issue is scoring goals.
Yeah, they don't score.
Oh yeah, Terry, I'm back.
Okay, I just want to read stupid. American Network just asked Palmer about the penalty. He said they talk about it and it's not a non-issue. Asked him if he's a designated penalty taker. He said, "I am now." Fair enough. Fair enough.
Bro, what can I say that I haven't said already, Terry, man? What can I say that I haven't said already? All I want to come on here and say is basically, I'm just happy. I'm just happy that everyone can finally see what I was seeing at Man City, because I was bigging him up in the summer, like I've said 1,000,001 times. I didn't expect him to be doing this at this level, Terry, but he's only going to get better, man. And like I've said, we haven't even seen him with our main team right now, because we're missing with about 3-4 players that arguably should be starting for us. Lavia starts for me. Fofana starts for me. Reece James starts for me. Who else is there that's been injured as well? There's one more player that I'm missing. I'm thinking of.
Nkunku.
I can't. Nkunku starts for me. Do you know what I'm saying, Terry? So right now we're literally in Palmer FC. So imagine with better players around him.
Can I ask you a question on that when you say Nkunku starts? Because he plays more of a support striker. If Palmer's in the 10, where does Nkunku play?
Nkunku would probably be off the left, in my opinion. Okay. I think he'll play off the left and then link up with Jackson that way, and they'll probably alternate positions, because Jackson obviously...
You know what? It doesn't matter. It'll be another option off the bench, no matter what.
Yeah. And obviously, we know Nkunku's injury record ain't great as well, so it's not a situation where he needs to start every single game, Terry. But what I said in my preview that I did on my channel, I spoke about Palmer playing in that 10. And that's the attack that I actually went for. I said, I want Madueke on the right, I want Mudryk on the left, and I want Jackson up top with Palmer in that 10. And for me, why I said that is because Everton usually they play a low block. You know, I wanted our wingers to be running at both of their fullbacks, because when we last played Everton, Ashley Young, he struggled at fullback against Mudryk with the way he was running at him, right? And Stamford Bridge is a small pitch. You need to make sure that you're stretching both sides, you know. And for me, I've said it, like, for me, I prefer Palmer down the middle, you know, because I like the way he passes. I like the decision making that he makes. You can clearly see that he's not like Gallagher in that role. He's comfortable in the ball. He drops deep as well to come and collect and help in the first phase when we're trying to build from the back. I know I was missing Enzo today, but if you noticed, most of the building was Palmer that was helping. In the second half, when we was winning by a couple goals, Gallagher was starting to get a little bit more confident on the ball. But initially, Palmer was dropping quite a bit to help, right? But listen, this is what I want to see more often. I need to see the manager going with his best options that he can go with in each position. I know these men ain't world class. I know these men are not the guys that we grew up on, but help them perform. And today, he helps them perform, you know, by playing them in the positions where they're most comfortable, you know. And it's no surprise, like I said, that the attack looked a lot better. The back as well today, Thiago Silva and Chalobah, like someone said, you know, these guys have played together before. You can clearly see there's a clear understanding there. I think they should carry on playing together, to be fair, because Badi Shield's been poor this season. And Disasi, for me, him and Silva together, they're too slow. You know, the line is way too deep when they play together. Chalobah, he's more of a squad player as well, but he can cover more ground. That's why he's better at right back than Disasi. Do you know what I'm saying? But Terry, listen, it's a big win, because I wasn't confident before the game. Like I said to you, 1 win in 5 against Everton before this game. Yeah. Last time we played them at the Bridge last year, bro, I was at the game. They brought on Sims. The guy's in the Championship right now, balling out. But he scored. He scored just before, I think, on the 89th minute or something like that. Right? We ended up drawing that game. So Everton, they've been a little bit of a bogey team recently. We haven't really done well against Everton. So it's a good way to build a bit of confidence for Poch to hopefully trust more players, because we've got a big game at the weekend, man.
Very big game. I wanted to ask about Nicholas Jackson, because I thought he had a good game up front. His goal was absolutely out of this world, in my opinion, as well. What did you make of him tonight? Bro,
listen, he was good, man. He was good. The link-up play, like I said, on the ball as well, trying to take risks. There's a few times where it worked. You know, his decision-making can be a little bit better. Like, he'll beat one player and then try to beat the next man and try to beat the next man. Yeah. Sometimes just pop it off and let someone else do that. Make the run, the late run like Palmer does, collect it back and you'll score a goal, you know? But ultimately, Terry, again, this is a player that shouldn't be starting for Chelsea, but we have to analyze the situation. And for me, he's improved. He's improved from what I was seeing at the beginning of the season. You know what I'm saying?
Well, look, I will say this about him. You know, 13 goals now this season. It's matching what he did last year. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, my God, the best thing since sliced bread. But he's someone that should be a support striker for you. Like, as in a backup striker, maybe not your first guy. If you have a player like him on your bench with a better striker in your team and he's scoring 13, 14, 15 goals across all comps a season, that's not a bad player to have.
I also think he worked well off. He'd work well off a striker as well, I think. I think he worked well with a 9 as well, if he drifts a bit out wide. That's another option as well. His touches today were very good. They've always been good link up. Him and Palmer have played well all season together. There seems to be a natural chemistry there. He, for the value of money that's in the transfer market right now, he's delivered this season. You can see there's still a rough edges around him. He's not an out-and-out number 9. We all know that. But for what we pay for him, what other strikers have gone for this summer and not delivered in some parts around the world, he's actually delivered. So
I wouldn't even say he's like a bad player, though. Like, we've been saying he's like been a bad player. As Terry said, just the stats shot 13.
He also got an assist. But he also got an assist tonight for Palmer's opening goal when he laid it off right in Palmer's path. So he does that. He's just not going to be prolific. He's going to be a slight version. For me, he's going to be a slight version like Kalou was. He reminds me so much of Kalou back in the day. He's going to frustrate you, but he's not going to be clinical. But he's going to be there. He's going to chip in with important goals.
Yeah, he very much could do. Matty's here with us. What are you saying, Matty?
How's it going? Sorry, I would have put my camera on, but I've got problems with it, so I don't know what's up with it.
It's a light.
So, I thought today, I mean, I want to cast my mind back to the start of the season where I actually said that Cole Palmer was the most underwhelming signing. I absolutely have been butchered, really. I've actually been proven wrong for a change. Stunning, absolutely stunning. If he's not the signing of the season, he's got to be up there. Like, absolutely stunning. I think it was good for Alfie Gilchrist as well to get on the score sheet as well. Young player, Chelsea Academy. You know, I think we played really well today. This is the biggest defeat, just to let you know, this is the biggest defeat of Sean Dyche's managerial career, and it's the biggest defeat that Everton have had for over 20 years or so. So that's quite something. So 6-0 is amazing. It's our first clean sheet since January. So I'm quite happy. I thought we did a very good. I think we played really well today. You know, no salt at all today. But I think the handbags at 10 paces, we could have done without that. To be quite honest with you, you know, I wish Poch would stop waiting for a bus and actually do something. But you know, to be fair, you know, a lot of people are throwing Conor Gallagher under the bus. Can I just say, he actually stepped in and actually said, no, he's taking it. So to be fair, you've got to give him his props tonight. You know, he did really well tonight. You know, I think they all played well.
Certainly did. And when you think about Cole Palmer being signing of the season, I mean, if it's sometimes hard depending on if a really good signing wins Premier League or Champions League. That's all. It always takes more centre stage, but a 21-year-old signing for a dysfunctional Chelsea, but for 40 million and maybe being the Golden Boot winner, he's a shout for signing of the season. Without a shadow of a doubt, he's an absolute shout for it. I wanted to ask about 2 other players tonight because I thought collectively they did really well. Maybe the best performance I've seen from Caiciedo as well. Him and Gallagher together in the pivot, gents. I know you're saying maybe Lavia comes back in and makes it better, but is that a midfield pivot you'd like to see given a few more games together? Because it just seemed to have everything today, Don.
Nah, still not for me, man. Still not for me, Terry. I think what helped Gallagher today when you watch closely, like I said, was Palmer helping him in that build-up, right? And the fact that we literally had our hands round Everton's neck today and we said, yeah, we are gonna batter you. We're gonna keep going, right? Because usually what happens is, you know, the mentality gets a little bit sluggish. We score a goal, we get a bit laxy-daisy, we get a little bit comfortable. Gallagher starts to get pressed in that pivot, and he's not comfortable, you know? So for me, like I've said, it was a good performance from him today, but going forward, it doesn't mean that he should now be playing. Because I think for me, if Enzo played today, he would still do the same role that Gallagher did today. The main difference today that I saw was that the midfield was linking up with the attack, and Cole Palmer was the main reason. I don't think Enzo and Caiciedo, Gallagher and Caiciedo are now the answer to our problems, in my opinion.
I listen. It's a big call this weekend if Enzo is fit to play City, because arguably Gallagher has played very well against City, doing a job on Rodri, playing in that more advanced midfield position with Enzo and Caiciedo patrolling behind him. So it's a big call this weekend, especially with Wembley being a wider pitch as well. It's a massive call. Do you change a winning team? But then it's City, right? You have to take City out as their own in context of their own instead of playing everyone else. City is different. So it's a big call. It's a big call for him to make if Enzo is fit to start. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to playing the same starting lineup as we have done against City, with Gallagher more in the 10 to do a job on Rodri like he has done previous games. So it's a massive call, though.
The thing is, I get what you guys are saying, but
they played very well tonight.
He was your captain.
They did.
He was. This is where I'd be slightly concerned as a Chelsea fan. I want to. If I'm off, then tell me I'm off. He was your captain tonight. There is no way captains don't get dropped unless there's something wrong with them. I know that
I'm not saying drop him. I'm not saying drop him.
I know you're not, but this is the point I'm making. If he's your captain, he's not getting dropped. If Enzo's fit, Gallagher's still going to start. So it means you're either going to move Cole Palmer out of the 10 or keep Enzo on the bench. They're your two options because he's not dropping Gallagher. So what would you rather see, Don? Enzo on the bench or Palmer moved out of his 10 role? Because that's the options, isn't it, really?
I think you guys are forgetting what Gallagher was doing against Brazil when he played in that pivot. You know, I've seen him have performances like that for Chelsea. You know, this doesn't change how I feel about him in that pivot.
I'm not saying it's got to change how you feel, but we're just talking about that he is not dropping his captain. I know that. So what would you rather him do? Play Enzo in the pivot and put Gallagher in the 10 and move Palmer out to the right, or keep it as it was today, which is your best performance in 2 years, scoring 6 goals? Like, what would you rather him do?
I'd rather him, as much as I don't like Gallagher in the 10, I'd rather him play him there, man. Because when, like Andrew has said already, when he's been played in that role, Rodri hates playing against Gallagher. He's a pest when he plays against Gallagher. You know, doesn't give him any space. So this is the sort of game where if Gallagher's in your squad, you don't mind him starting a game like that because of you don't want City having time on the ball. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just stressing. Like I've said, I'm just stressing because I've got PTSD about Gallagher in that pivot. And for me, at the weekend, I'd start him in that 10 just to hopefully hinder Rodri's performance.
I think he will do that. Unless Enzo's not fit, he will. I think he'll revert to type. And putting Palmer on the right is not a bad thing. He's played very well on the right this season. You know what I mean? He's hardly played in the middle. But I think that's what he'll do. If Enzo's fit, he'll push Gallagher up because Gallagher's done a great job against Rodri in the 2 league games that we faced. I know Rodri scored in both, but he's still done a very good job in that position. And with Wembley being a wider pitch and stuff like that, it could be a great use for that. So, but that's if Enzo's fit. If he's not fit,
I don't think he will be fit though. I think realistically, I don't think he plays. I think it'll still be the same people we have today. I don't think maybe in terms of future, yes, but on City, it'll be the same people we have today. I don't think he'll force him for City.
He rested him for the City game. It's an inflammation or something of his stomach or something like that. I don't think it's anything.
This is different, Matt. This is not going on to like, oh, we're going into another game of playing well. So you have to take City out of like playing against. You have to. You can't. And he's already seen. He's already seen. We played very well with Gallagher doing a job on Rodri twice this season. So it's.
We've got some super chats here.
I picked up Gallagher as well today, Terry. I thought he played very well, bro.
Yeah, I did think he was very good today. I thought he was. Ola here says Mane and Salah aren't out and out strikers and they won the Golden Boot. Yeah, but you missed out the first bit. What I said. What 21-year-old in his breakthrough season? They definitely weren't 21 years old when they did that. That's my point. The question mark, bro. I know. Not every time the Golden Boot's been won by a striker. Stop it, Terry. He's not close to Hazard. Again, you didn't listen. When everyone mentions Hazard, people get cognitive dissonance. I didn't say he'd be a better footballer. I said could be more productive. And in his first season, he's probably going to be more productive with goals. And if he continues that,
definitely,
it's amazing. I didn't say it was better than Hazard. The words never left my mouth. Relax. But if you're a Chelsea fan, right, and you love Chelsea, wouldn't you want every signing to be better than Hazard?
Absolutely.
It's crazy to me. Gallagher in central midfield. Already done that super chat there. This one said, Terry, if any player, already done that one as well. Thank you. Plenty of players argue over penalties. It's nothing. Well, Potts has just come out and said this. So thank you for sending it through, Andrew. He said, I made it clear to them. Now I'll make it clear to you. Cole Palmer is the taker. If he wants to give it to someone else, he can. Not in this way. It will never happen again. For me, if I was a Chelsea fan, that's it now done. I wouldn't even speak about it anymore. It's dealt with. There's no point keeping it going. My point was that Sam called this squad mid-table quality. Look, there's a lot. There is. They shouldn't. Chelsea should not be mid-table. Let's just have that right. They shouldn't be mid-table.
They performed like it. So they are mid-table because they performed like it.
Kieran here says, I said it and I'll say it again. Havertz for Palmer was genius. Big up Don and Andrew up the Chelsea is what Kieran says here.
That's Kieran.
More surprising than the 6 goals was the clean sheet, and both centre-backs played pretty regular under Tuchel. Yeah, that's very true. This here says, I need, from Jimmy, says, I need to praise Chalobah tonight. He is starting, he's a starting centre-back for where he wants to get to, where we want to get to, no, but he's unequivocally more agile than disaster, waste of money.
The thing that lets him down is obviously his height, and his ball playing ability is not as good as Disasi, but he covers the ground well, man. I don't feel like we're slow at the back with him there, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Moose Wizard says that only this team can make you feel embarrassed going 5 up. Other than that, I'm happy today. Big up Moose Wizard. Hi, is there a chance to get to your match reactions? Because I am a Polish, and I am Polish, and I would love to have some conversations with English fans. Yeah, look, we can get you on to the next one. This one's nearly over, brother. But yeah, more than welcome on the Football Terrace, my friend. Next match reaction you want to come on, drop us a DM, and we'll send you out a link, mate, and we'll get you on, of course. Big up to Don and Andrew up the Chelsea Havertz for Palmer. I've already done that one. He must have done said it again. He said it twice. Thank you. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you. I would drop Nani and put Palmer on the right. It makes sense. Yeah. GA equals productivity. Terry has a mutant mindset. Now, that's literally what productivity for an attacker means. The same as, do you know what productivity for a goalkeeper is? Like saving shots. Mm-hmm. Not looking good, not looking good diving through the air, but not saving them. For an attacking player, productivity is creating and scoring goals. It's your job. Mm-hmm. If you think that's a mutant mindset, thank you for paying me, by the way. If you need to start speaking to new people about football. Now, equally, me and Don had this debate earlier on today. Some players you look at and they are key components and playmakers, and the ball goes through them. You need them to be good on the ball. You need them to be decisive. You need them to have the skills that Cole Palmer had. But not every player needs to have that. You guys might sign a striker in the summer who is decent at holding up the play, decent in approach play, but deadly in front of goal. He won't be involved throughout the whole 90 minutes. Won't stop him from potentially being a world-class player if he scores loads of goals, because not everybody has to play in exactly the same way in a football team. It's about the balance, my friend. But for an attacking player, productivity is creating and scoring goals. If anybody disagrees with that, I don't even know what that means. GA does not equal points. Again, I didn't say productivity equal points. Teams earn points by being productive at one end and stopping your opponents from being productive. Because, boys, if you stop your opponents from being productive, but you guys are productive, do you reckon you win loads of games?
Yes.
Of course.
What are we doing? Who the hell is trying to redefine football? But those are the best players. Okay, yeah, fine. I mean, players that have got great technical ability and are highly productive, like Lionel Messi would be, and Ronaldo are the two standout examples. Yes, they are the best, but it doesn't mean somebody else can't still be a top-class player. I think we're so obsessed with everyone. Do you know how boring football would be if everyone was like Zidane or if everyone was like Messi? Genuinely, it'd be boring. I don't think
and that's why I acknowledge footballers like Saka or Salah and these guys, but I just don't rate them as much as, you know, the guys with the natural ability like these man here. You know what I mean?
But it's the same thing now that left back and right backs in the general conversation. Everyone always goes first. Yeah, but how many goals and assists have they got? Instead of going like, well, how good are they at defending first?
How good are they at defending?
Yes. That's the thing now.
Gusto's really good going forward for you guys, but I feel defensively he's individually really strong. I think he's a really good defender. And it's so important because, yes, we went through a 3 or 4 year period where the attacking element of a fullback was key. Do you notice no one was talking about that anymore?
No.
What do you think of Mudryk today, Terry?
I thought it was okay. I thought when I say okay, like good, like 7 out of 10. Good, involved, good runs. I still think he's just lacking confidence when he's on the ball, when it comes to decisive passes and moments. But I thought he put in a good performance. And I think that he didn't sort of stand out in that front four as being a problem and hindering you guys. But I thought it was good. Like, I'd give him like a 6.5, 7 out of 10. Something like that.
I think the first 15, 20 minutes, the left-hand side, it was looking dangerous. Like he was cooking up. And he helped Palmer score that second goal as well. But again, you saw in certain parts in the game, he was ghosting. There were certain parts in the game where he was making the wrong decision on the ball, taking a little bit long. But again, Terry, you're not going to iron these things out of his game unless he's playing more, bro. He's got to learn about himself more. You know what I'm saying? He's only going to learn through game time, bro.
I totally agree, and I think that's why. That's the one thing. I know you're going into the City game, so it's different. But even like with Madueke on the right, it was only the first time he's ever started consecutive Premier League games for you. I know some of that is injury, but it's almost like you want these young players to develop. There has to be an amount of game time, and what you'll see in that game time is sometimes they'll look great, and then sometimes they'll have their little dips as well. These things happen to players.
It was only Madueke's sixth start of the season.
Yeah.
You see, I've got so much time for Madueke, man. That guy, the way he runs at players, bro, the way he just drops his shoulder and does things and, you know, wins fouls and that, bro, he's a good player, man. He's only going to get better as well, man.
Remember when you lot laughed at Don for saying people would queue up to watch him? This is, again, no one laughed at him for saying they would. Just one thing I will stand by. I've said it along. I don't think there are people that get up in the morning and say, I'm going to Stamford Bridge tonight. Why? I'm going to watch Cole Palmer. I don't think anyone's doing that. I think they're going to watch their club, Chelsea, but he is the most exciting part of the team right now. That I agree with 110%. I just don't put him on the same level as I don't think if Cole Palmer went and played for an LMS team as say he went and played in the Major League in America and he was like a star for the day, I don't think he sells out a 76,000 seat stadium.
No, come on. Now you're doing too much, Terry. Man.
No.
You know the point that I made. You're doing too much now.
I'm not doing too much because in the conversation we had, and let's have this right, Don, my old mate. You said you named players like Messi and said just like them.
No, I didn't say. I didn't even mention those players. This guy,
you mentioned people. Mate, we'll clip it up. We'll clip it up.
Yeah.
Terry,
all I said, Andrew, all I said, yeah, is you see how Cole Palmer plays, yeah? He's the sort of player that people will be happy. No, people want to pay money to go and watch, is what I said. Yeah. And Terry's like, come on, people aren't queuing up to go watch Cole Palmer.
The thing is, there are only two reasons. There's only two reasons I'm watching Chelsea at the moment. One is Cole Palmer, and the other is because I'm coming on the streams after the game. I have to know what I'm talking about.
I think he's an important part of your team, and I enjoy watching him play. So I totally agree with that. But you're not paying. Well, you do pay by your TV subscription, but I hear you.
That first goal was ridiculous, right?
The first goal was probably Jackson's goal was ridiculous, but that first goal, the team play before it. The nutmeg on Branthwaite, who's a good player, the little back flick, the pass back from, and then the first time sort of half volley.
Yeah, go back. If anyone's not seen it,
by the way, you see Branthwaite as well.
To where we passed it out from the back. Don't go just when Palmer does it. That whole move starts from back to front. It's literally a good counter-attacking goal.
I think there should be.
Branthwaite, Terry, yeah, he's got Man United flop written all over him, and I can't lie. That guy is heavy-footed. The amount of times I've seen Jackson just spinning him, right? His foot is so heavy into the ground. He's a good player, but if you guys pay 80 million, I think it will be a Maguire situation there, man.
Sorry.
I hear you. I mean, when I saw him get nuts tonight, I was like, oh, no, it's not the guy we're linked with, is it? Well, it's all right. Southgate will sort him out. But you know what I mean? It'll be good. Listen,
I think there should be a serious debate about whether or not Pickford should be dropped as England's number one after the one goal.
There should be, but the problem you've got, he never makes mistakes for England.
The Harry Maguire argument for England.
It's the same with Maguire, but I hear you. Look, boys, I'm going to shoot because it's late and I've got to be up early tomorrow, but I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Hit the like and the share button. Congratulations to Chelsea. Well done to Cole Palmer. What a sensational night and performance from him. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon.